Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am filming this on the Sunday, but whenever you are watching this, happy whatever day of the week it is for you. So today we are going to be talking about the top 10 best Marvel couples in my opinion. This is in no particular order, though I do say that, well, we'll get to that in a minute, who my absolute favorite is. But without further ado, let's get started. And as always, if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I do all kinds of videos. I try to film at least 3 times a week. So yeah, let's get into it. So my personal favorite, and then everybody else is in no particular order, but this is like my one true couple, is Peter Parker and Mary Jane. I don't think that's a surprise to any of you, since I have mentioned that Spider-Man is my favorite MCU character in the gift guide I did with the Hot Topic stuff. I just think they're really iconic. I mean, if you go back to the Tobey Maguire era with that kiss, it is like cinematic gold. It's been recreated so many times on TikTok, on YouTube, and short films. There's just something about it. I love them as a couple. I think they're great together. I think they're iconic. Yeah, I really like them. They are my fave in any kind of adaptation that they kind of go through. I know a lot of people like like him and Black Cat. I kind of have a love-hate thing with that. I don't really like it because I know Felicia's not necessarily the best influence on him. So my personal favorite is Mary Jane and Peter. But moving on from there, and these are in no particular order, this is just me writing them down, just want to remind you guys again. Next, let's get into Jessica Jones and Luke. I think that they are so iconic. I know that in the series with Luke, we didn't really see too much of his and Jessica's relationship. It was very brief at coffee, if you know, you get coffee. But I like it. I think that they are very good for each other. They kind of balance each other out, since Jessica is so rough around the edges, and Luke is too, but they kind of they're almost like the yin to the yang. I love them as a couple. I know that they do more in the comics. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything that went on there, because I'm not as up to date on the comics as I should be, but I really, really like them. I think they are one of the best couples that Marvel has ever paired together. And I know that they went with him and Claire, and I love Rosario Dawson, so it's no shade to her whatsoever. I just think that Luke and Jessica are just pure perfection. And when they had a couple scenes with them in Defenders, oh my god, hilarious. The jokes are great. Love them as a couple. I wish maybe when they eventually rejoin, since I know that the contract is expiring with Netflix, I am praying that we get to see them as a couple. And I love Kristen Ritter. Oh my god, just like, she fully embodies Jessica Jones. Love her so much. But yeah, moving on from there, of course, it wouldn't be a Marvel top 10 couplings without Steve and Peggy, because also known as Steggy, if you guys are into the coupling names. But I think that they are, I love that era, the 1940s, of the fashion and his backstory, and where they got to, how they were, and how it was something that could have been so great, but they just missed each other. I think that they're just really iconic. I love the fact that he says that he's gonna, meet her for the dance as he's hurtling towards the iceberg. I really like them. Cap is my number 2, as you guys know, so he's very close to my heart, and I loved Peggy since we saw her. I love Haley Atwell. I think she does a great job at portraying such a strong woman, because back in the 1940s, it's something that you didn't really see too often. And I think that she presents that with such care, and I love that she's integral in setting up S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that's awesome, because S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of my favorite TV shows that they've come up with. And I love them. My heart breaks for them, but they are one of the best couples in the MCU. Moving on from Cap and Peggy, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Wanda and Vision, since we talk about them once a week in their TV show WandaVision. You guys can check out my reviews on those. I do them once a week when they are aired on Disney+. I think they're great. It was almost a couple. I remember watching it unfold as I went and saw the movies, that it wasn't really one that I was expecting. I thought it was interesting and unique, and I loved the dynamics that they brought out in each other. It almost made Vision feel, at the time, you know, he had been integrated in from Jarvis, so he kind of felt a little bit cold, almost alien-like. And I think that between the two of them and the meshing of the characters and the way that they fit together, it just flows so great. I just absolutely 110% love them. And I think that Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen do such a good job, especially on WandaVision, the dynamics of them. I'm so sad that he's no longer with us, so we won't be able to really see him unless there's some, I mean, you know, who's really dead in the MCU? Again, I'm gonna make an Agent Coulson joke because nobody's really dead in the MCU, but I love them. I think they're great. I think they were, for me, unexpected. I didn't really expect to see them together, but I do really like them. I like the chemistry that they have on screen, and I think it works really well for the series that they have on Disney+. Moving on from there. This is one that, I mean, I love him as a character. He's not necessarily my favorite, but I do love that he is a mentor to Peter. So if that didn't give it away, nothing will. Of course, Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. I think that that is a dynamic that is interesting to see. When they first started out, you know, her being kind of running his entire company basically behind the scenes. I like that because I think that in the corporate environment, it's very difficult. You don't see, it's better now, but you didn't see as many women in top paid positions like that are basically virtually running the company. I'm so glad that we are now at a time where that's becoming more mainstream, but I do love that he kind of just lets her do her own thing, and he knows that she's going to be able to handle it. He doesn't micromanage her. And I think that's a really important dynamic of their relationship. She almost has to, you know, kind of micromanage Tony, since he does kind of get bogged down with ideas. But I love them. I love their daughter Morgan. I think it was great. I'm really sad that Robert Downey isn't going to be in the next phase of the MCU, but hopefully we could just see him in some flashbacks or any kind of moments like that, because it would be a real travesty to no longer see him in that Iron Man suit. And I like Pepper's character. I think she's really strong and independent, and just, yeah, she's a total badass. I think she's great. Moving on from there, let's take it back to X-Men days with Hugh Jackman. If that's not an indication, Jean Grey and Logan. I know, it's technically cheating. They weren't really a couple. Yeah. They have the best chemistry, like one of the best ones. I think that it was so well done, and I remember watching those. Obviously, it was significantly younger then. And I loved the character Wolverine. I mean, who doesn't like Wolverine? And I liked the way that they kind of interacted and played off of each other. I'm not a big Cyclops fan, so that's why I don't really enjoy him and her together. I know that they had a lot longer history with childhood and all of that. But yeah, I'm definitely a Logan and Jean stan. If I'm gonna pick one, those are gonna be it. And I love Hugh Jackman. He's great in everything he does. Moving on from there. I am a very big fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., as I've mentioned countless times, and my inside Coulson jokes, which I know you guys are probably getting sick of. But if you have seen the series, you will know Gemma Simmons and, not Eugene, we're just gonna go with Fitz, because, you know, I can never remember his full name. Fitz and Simmons. I love them. I think Elizabeth Henstridge is like, oh my god, she's the perfect geeky nerd. She's just adorable. And I love like the dark side of Fitz. I think that that was a really cool, interesting twist that they wove through the seasons, and how they kind of had to trust each other, and things that could have really broken them up and separated them, they didn't allow that to happen. I think that's a real true testament to their characters. They've had lots of stuff happening. I am sad that it is no longer being aired. It's done. It's completed, obviously. But I did think that that was a really sweet couple, and I love them. I think they are just, yeah, Fitz and Simmons are endgame. They're couple goals for any MCU fans. Moving on from there. I know this one isn't very popular, but I do really like Thor and Jane. I think that she is the perfect kind of balancing him out and telling him, you know, you can't say those things, especially in the first Thor movie, just kind of seeing how their characters interacted and meshed together. It was nice. I really like Natalie Portman. I'm a huge fan of hers, and I like the way that their dynamic kind of creeps in. I'm really, really excited to see what they do with Thor Love and Thunder. Of course, I'm just overjoyed with that. But I know it's not as popular, but I do really support Thor and Jane. I think they're a great couple, and I would love to see more of them in Phase 4. All right, let's take it back to the Netflix series. Daredevil and Elektra. There's just something to be said for, and I do want to touch on the fact that I do think him and Karen have a lot of potential, but I think there's a lot of trust issues there, especially with him not filling her in on actually who he was. But I really liked the backstory that they took through the Daredevil series. I think it was really cool to see how Mac kind of grew up and how he adapted, and I think that she brings out a side of him that we don't get to see very often, and he definitely has a savior complex when it comes to her, but I think she's fiery, she's got a lot of passion, and she's, again, total badass babe. So I'm a fan. I'm sad that, you know, well, we don't know, but that's apparently died. Again, is anyone ever really dead? But yeah, I think they're great. Like I said, I really hope that for Spider-Man 3 we get to see Charlie Cox's Daredevil again. Crossing my fingers, guys, crossing my fingers, because he is epic and he is Daredevil to me. I don't care what you say, he's my Daredevil. Daredevil, I can't talk apparently. And then moving on from there, my last one, and then I do have a bonus one. Again, taking it back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Yoyo and Mac. I think this is, first of all, I love Yo-Yo's powers. I think they're super awesome. I love the way that she joined the team and how everything came about, and her friendship with Daisy and Simmons. I think it's awesome. She's a total babe. Love what they did with her arms when she did lose them, and the mechanical, and then Gemma being able to fix them. I think that's really cool too. I love the fact that her and Matt came back together at the end of everything. They did find their way back, because I was really sad that they had broken up, and then watching it them kind of get back to each other in the last season of S.H.I.E.L.D. was heartwarming, and I love it. Again, I'm sad it's over, but I'm happy that we had it while it lasted. And my bonus one, this is another S.H.I.E.L.D. one. If you guys couldn't tell, I like S.H.I.E.L.D. I have really liked Melinda May and Coulson. As we know, Coulson had a brief well, not brief, but he had a relationship with the cellist, and then nothing happened there. And then since then, Coulson has obviously gone through different phases of being dead and then being reborn in some way, whether it was Tahiti or whether it was basically becoming AI, kind of, if you will. I think it's cool. I liked them. I love the joke about splitting I think it was a bottle of brandy. It was some kind of like a strong alcohol, and he had accidentally drank it with the wrong May. So I like them together. I think May is really cool. Ming Wen is obviously a true legend. Love her in everything she does. I love Coulson. I hope that they find some way to integrate him in the future. I don't know with Captain Marvel. I don't remember exactly what storyline we're going on with the second one. But I do really hope that they bring him back, and I hope that we can figure out like a way to incorporate the rest of them. I love Chloe Bennett as Daisy. I know that that's not part of this video, but I love the entire cast of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I really wish that they had kind of integrated them more into the MCU, because I think it would have been a very big beneficial vibe and something else to give fans something to look forward to. But that's gonna be it for today's video. So let me know what your guys' favorite Marvel couple is. Let me know if you want to debate any of the ones on my list, or if you think that you have one that I've forgotten, or one that is just like, you're like, how the heck did you forget about them? Please let me know. I'm excited. Stay tuned. I do have some more videos coming up this week, and as always, we will have a review for WandaVision next Friday. But for now, I'm signing off. Have a good night, good evening, good morning, whatever time you're watching this, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.